The video, Why Women Won't Return to Pre-1950s Roles. It is a psychological, astrological, and mythic breakdown of the modern feminine. Women aren't hard because they want to be hard. They're hard because for the last 70 years, they've had to become what men stopped being. If the provider protector archetype collapses, the feminine doesn't become empowered. She becomes overridden, overextended, and forced into a masculine nervous system she was never meant to live in full time. And that's the part that nobody wants to talk about. So this is probably going to be a little triggering. I've been studying these dynamics. I have watched many different types of coaches, influencers, whatever you want to say. I've watched many different kinds of teachers in this realm. I am very open to listening to everything, honestly. I have been listening to every side of this topic for years, probably 6 years now. And so this is not red pill. It is not new age femininity, not conservative nostalgia content trying to drag women back to 1950. This is not Instagram goddess culture either. So today we're going to talk about the real reasons women cannot and will not go back to old roles and why this isn't a women's issue. It is an evolutionary, archetypal, and spiritual shift happening on the planet right now. So let's begin. I'm going to take a quick coffee drink. "15-minute intro, not bad." All right, so section 1, the disappearance of provider protector archetype. For thousands of years, the masculine identity was built around two things. Number 1, provide, and number 2, protect. Not because women were weak, but because society was structurally dangerous. Food insecurity, wars, harsh climates, animals, and invaders. The environment required men to physically dominate and be psychologically responsible. But in the last 100 years, industrialization replaced physical labor. And I do just want to briefly sprinkle this in here because I have been studying a lot on my Native American roots, and let's just take a moment to appreciate the Native American indigenous cultures never ever losing their grasp on this masculine and feminine integration within themselves, their families, their culture. Thank you for not ever losing this polarity. Beautiful thing. Yeah. All right, so in the last 100 years, the state replaced a protector, technology replaced village structure, women gained economic access, the world became less physically dangerous but more psychologically dangerous. So the old masculine job description dissolved and nothing replaced it. Masculine identity collapsed, feminine safety collapsed with it. When men lost their role in society, women absorbed those roles, not because they wanted to, but because their survival required it. Section 2, the collapse of trust in masculine structures. Let's go layer by layer. The state failed women. Healthcare, childcare, safety, stability. Women carry most of the burden, and I can absolutely vouch for that. The church failed women, often asking them to submit without guaranteeing protection or integrity. Marriage failed women, high divorce rates, infidelity, abandonment, and financial instability. The family system failed women, generations of absent fathers, immature men, emotionally unavailable husbands. So women didn't just stop trusting men, they stopped trusting masculine structures themselves. When trust collapses, responsibility shifts. And women stepped into the masculine because no one else would. Section 3, why feminine softness requires safety. Women do not become soft just by wanting to. Softness is not a personality trait. Softness is a physiological state. The feminine nervous system softens when she feels secure, supported, protected, chosen. She is not in constant vigilant mode. Men keep telling women just be more feminine, relax, open your heart. But you cannot open what is guarding itself for survival. A woman doesn't need coaching, she needs safety. Her softness is waiting beyond that. When a woman feels truly safe, feminine energy pours out of her like a natural spring, warm, intuitive, creative, and receptive. When she doesn't feel safe, she becomes hard, vigilant, self reliant, decisive, guarded, masculine in her strategy, not her essence. Masculine energy is not her nature, it's her shield. Section 4, the astrology layer, Venus rising, Mars dethroned. So collectively, we have entered Pluto in Aquarius, a Venus-led era, a Mars deconstruction cycle. For 5,000 years, society was war dominated, or Mars dominated. War, conquest, hierarchy, domination, and survival. Mars equals the old age masculine. But now Venus is leading the consciousness shift, and that is due to the every age has a spine, and so we are in an Aquarian age, and that's very airy. Aquarius is air, intellectualism, age of information, and it has to be grounded. Your mind has to be grounded in the axis of Taurus and Scorpio. And if you're interested in learning about that, you can purchase my Aquarian Age Framework book. All of my products are my books, my gear, my apparel are 33% off. And the code is Phoenix33. So that is a whole different series compared to this series. But I just wanted to put that in there if you're more interested in that. I'm not going to get too deep into that here. But it is a Venus-led era. And so Venus represents connection, intuition, relational intelligence, magnetism, collaboration, the feminine principle of value. This is why feminine energy is rising, masculine energy is destabilizing, old gender roles are breaking, new relational structures are forming. Women are not rebelling, they are evolving into the energetic frequency of this new cycle. Mars isn't disappearing, it's being reforged. Men are being forced to evolve beyond brute strength into emotional leadership, integrity, presence, responsibility, and mission. The masculine's old identity is dying, a new one is emerging. Section 5, we have trauma, women living in masculine survival mode. So this is the part every woman will not belong to. Modern women are not masculine. They are hyper responsible, hyper vigilant, hyper independent, hyper capable. Why? Because their bodies never learn to relax. When a woman grows up with an absent father, a chaotic father, a weak father, an unreliable partner, a traumatic childhood, or financial instability, her nervous system wires itself for self-protection, not openness. So what looks like masculine confidence, masculine drive, and masculine independence is actually a woman exhausted from having no choice. Women didn't become masculine, they became overwhelmed. Section 6, the mythic layer, the feminine returning as sovereign, not submissive. In mythology, every feminine archetype has two expressions. Number 1, the submissive feminine, dependent, powerless, voiceless, and controlled. And number 2, the sovereign feminine, intuitive, wise, emotionally powerful, spiritually anchored, soft because she is safe, not because she is small. The world is shifting from version 1 to version 2. Women will not return to silence, economic dependence, emotional helplessness, domestic confinement, or male-led morality. Because that version of the feminine is over, and the universe has made sure of it. Let me take a quick drink. The feminine returning now is a queen energy, not a maid. She doesn't want to rule over men. She wants men to rise so they can stand beside her. She is not trying to be the masculine. She is trying to meet the masculine that never fully showed up. Section 7, so why won't women go back? The final truth. Here is the core truth. Women won't return to pre-1950 roles because they have evolved beyond the conditions that made those roles necessary. It's not rebellion, it's not ego, it's not politics, and it's not feminism. It is evolution. We're living through the death of the old masculine, the rebirth of the sacred masculine, the rise of the sovereign feminine, the restructuring of relationships, and the Venetian era of connection over control. Women will soften again, but not by going backward. They soften when the world catches up to what they've become. So in closing, the feminine isn't rejecting men. She is waiting for the masculine to resurrect. The old world asks women to shrink. The new world asks them to rise. And as women rise, men will rise with them, not above them, not behind them, but next to them. This is polarity in the Aquarian age. All right, so that is my introduction, my first video to my masculine, or to my polarity integration series, a journey into the real architecture of the masculine and feminine. So my next video will be about the masculine collapse and the feminine inflation. I have not currently made any books on this series yet, but I do plan on certainly making books on this. This series is more of a collective, individual. It is an archetypal thing, but not based on individual personality types. I have done 6 personality types so far. I've got video series on every single personality type. This video series is specifically about the overarching masculine and feminine individually and collectively. So I think that's very important. Anyways, please like and subscribe. Do check out my sales. All my books are on sale, and my apparel. I have bomber jackets, t-shirts, stickers, you name it, tote bags, sweaters, etc. So do check that out if you are interested, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. Feel free to comment. I will be moderating the comments heavily. This is my space. I am the container of this space, and please be respectful, and I will see you in the next video.